Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you how to make a delicious quiche Lorraine, which would be perfect for Easter Sunday. So quiche Lorraine originates from the northeast of France. I'm over here on the west coast of France, but we still eat it all the time here. In fact, it's not really even a springtime dish. You find it year round. So it pays to know how to make a good one. The first thing we're going to do is make our crust. So in a food processor, you want to add 1.25 cups of all-purpose flour. And if you would like all of the metric measurements to this recipe, they're in the description. Or you can print them out on my blog. And then to that, you're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Next, you're going to add 1/2 cup of butter. Now, here in France, I use unsalted butter because our salted butter is pretty salty. But if you're in the States, I would use salted Land O'Lakes butter. That is my favorite American brand of butter. I just think it has a lot more flavor. Now, this butter has been cut into little cubes and it's very cold, which is going to help our dough stay together. All right, so a little bit at a time. And then you just want to give it a pulse. And then just continue to add the butter until you get a really nice coarse meal. It should look like this. Then you're going to take 1 whole egg and crack it into a small bowl or a glass. And then you want to add 2 tablespoons of icy cold water. So I just filled a glass with ice water. This is just going to help our dough come together. If the butter is too warm and the water is too warm, your dough is going to be very sticky and it's going to be hard to roll out into a ball and flatten before you refrigerate it. So it's just a good thing to do. Then go ahead and just whisk it up until everything is combined. You don't want to overwork this or you'll have a tough crust. So just a little bit like that. This last part is very important. You want to keep going until you see a dough ball form and then stop. It'll just form it right into a ball for you. Then you know all that butter and flour has been well combined. If you take it where it's still kind of crumbly, it'll be hard to combine. You want it really smooth, just like this. Then you want to flatten it into a disc and wrap it up into some parchment paper. Now, this should really be done at least an hour in advance of making the quiche, but really for the holidays or anytime you're entertaining, I would just do it the day before so that you have less of a mess to clean up. Now, you know me, when it comes to blind baking, it's really the peskiest part of any recipe, and I try to avoid it as much as I can. And I'm going to show you all my tips for how to get around blind baking if you're an impatient cook like me and still end up with a flaky, crispy crust. Then for the quiche pan, I'm a big fan of metal quiche pans. I just think that is another tip that is going to help make your crust nice and crispy as opposed to something that's ceramic. I also really love a removable bottom quiche pan because once your quiche is ready, all you have to do is lift it up to get it out of the pan. And the other thing I love about this pan is it has little holes in it. This is something I discovered here in France at my supermarket, but they do sell them online on Amazon. So I will leave you a link below if you want one for yourself. It's an 11-inch pan, which is what I like because I think if you're trying to feed at least 6 to 8 people, you need a pretty good sized piece of quiche. Otherwise, it's just like a little teeny piece. And you're really gonna get that with an 11-inch pan. But the holes really help get that heat all in and around your crust and you end up with a crispier crust. So that's how I also really get away with not blind baking because this pan I just think works so well. Then we're gonna roll out our dough. I like to roll out the dough past the size of my pan. So if my pan is 11 inches, I like to go to at least 13 inches because that way you can trim it when it's in place and you make sure you don't come up short when you go to lay it in. Then you just wanna flip the dough over your rolling pin. That will make it easy to transport. And then we are going to place it in our tart pan. I like to fold over the edge so that I get a bit of a double crust. That'll just make the crust a little bit more sturdy. In order for it to adhere well to the side and then get that pretty fluting once the quiche is baked, I like to take my fist and just kind of fist bump the dough into the pan. I think that just helps you get a better seal. And then you can go ahead and take a knife and just trim the edges. I know this looks like a very big knife for this kind of a job, but I kind of like the width of it for trimming crust because I find that it gets you just a bigger, better cut than a smaller knife. Another tip to avoid the blind baking is make sure you pop this crust in your freezer while you make your filling. So traditionally a quiche Lorraine here in France is made with Lardon, which look like this. It's essentially bacon, but just cut the other way. Instead of slicing it, it's actually cut into little like matchsticks. But you absolutely could just use regular bacon at home. You're looking for about 6 ounces. I have 150 grams here of Lardon. Because there's so much fat in this bacon, I'm actually not gonna put any fat in the pan because it'll render its own fat once it starts cooking. All right, this is what you're looking for. It's nice and brown and crispy, and now we can take it out of here and let it drain on our paper towel. All right, now for our custard. So I really have a preferred egg to cream to milk ratio that I usually use for the quiche. And I just find that you need a lot of eggs in order for it to get a nice thick slice and to have a good amount of structure. If you've ever had those quiches that are a little bit wobbly and they kind of don't hold their shape, there's not enough egg in it. There's too much milk or too much cream. So for this size quiche, and we're talking about 11 inches, I go with 8 eggs. I know it sounds like a lot, but I feel like it's really the perfect ratio. Okay, then you want to whisk the eggs up, making sure that you break up the yolks and that everything is nice and combined. For this size quiche, I really like to front load the cream because again, it's just going to give it a lot more structure. So I do 1 cup of cream. I know, quiche is not diet food. We all know that by now. All right, and then 2/3 cup of whole milk. Then you're just gonna add a little salt and pepper to taste. I don't add too much salt because our bacon is pretty salty, and we're also gonna add some cheese, which is also a little bit salty. Now, cheese in Quiche Lorraine can be a little controversial because the original recipe does not have cheese in it, but I don't know, I just feel like it's missing the cheese every time I make it without the cheese, so I add the cheese, but you can leave it out if you want it to be a real purist. Then here's another tip for you to avoid that pesky blind baking. Use a little bit of cornstarch, about 1 teaspoon, in the bottom of your tart pan, and that'll prevent your crust from getting really soggy on the bottom. And one other thing that will also help with that, and this is where the cheese comes in, a little bit of grated cheese on the bottom. I'm gonna add 2/3 cup on the bottom, and I'm just using shredded Emmental cheese, and then we're gonna save 1/3 cup for the top. And then you're gonna add in your bacon, and I would just make sure that you distribute it well so everybody gets a little bite of the bacon. You don't want to just dump the whole thing in the center. Now comes the filling. Rather than pour it sort of right in the center, I like to just kind of go along the edges just to make sure that I'm not disturbing the bacon too much because you don't want that to move now that you've got it all well distributed. Then we are just going to add the cheese on top. This will also just create a really nice golden brown top. Then you're gonna pop this in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for just about 25 to 30 minutes. And then when it's ready, it'll look like this. I think it's a little easier to take it out with a dish towel because you don't wanna damage your lovely custard with some big oven mitts. And as it cools, it'll sort of deflate a little bit and set. I would just let it sit here for about 5 to 6 minutes before you cut into it. The tin is still a little bit hot, so you want to make sure you put a dish towel down or something that you will protect your hands, and then you can remove the ring and see, now you've got your beautiful golden brown crust, thanks to our little holes and all of our tips, and we didn't have to blind bake. So I always cut quiches and tarts like this in half first because it'll just make it so much easier to get equal sized pieces. I know that sounds like common sense, but I've been at parties where I see people just tacking little triangles. It looks to me like a perfect slice to dig in. Oh, that's so good. You have the rich custard, the buttery crust, and of course that salty little bacon, and the cheese. Gotta have the cheese on top. Look, it's so yummy. I hope you guys give this one a try and let me know what you think, and I'll see you back here next time. Until then, bye.